Let's see. It says I'm live, but I don't see myself live. Good morning. Hey, Randy Spear coming to you live from Spring, Texas, Houston, Texas, and super excited about what I want to talk about today about quiet quitting. If I can get my other social medias to join in, um, always fun, always a challenge. Let's see. I could have sworn I could have got that one going. Appreciate you joining. Hey, I see people dropping off. It's all cool, man. It's all good. Trying to get my other social medias going, and for some reason I can't get Instagram to cooperate. Um, I can't get it to go live, which is weird because I had to go live earlier. But now, of course, it's not going to. But hey, I can always post it. So, hey, Randy Spear coming to you live from Spring, Texas, and I appreciate you joining me here. I wanted to talk about quiet quitting. I wanted to see what your thoughts were and give you some feedback on me. I posted some videos earlier this week about quiet quitting, and my whole purpose was really just to help and to see people, let people see it from a different perspective. And I am open, absolutely open to whatever your comments are as far as your thoughts on quiet quitting. Not, hey, if you want to attack me, so be it. I mean, I'm getting plenty of that, so it's cool. But the fact of the matter is, I just want to know where you're at. I mean, I see people talking about quiet quitting, and I get that they're frustrated. Man, we've all been, you know, we've all been there. We've been to jobs that suck, and we're not happy about what we're doing or what they're doing, and we don't feel appreciated. I get the reason why people quiet quit. I get the reason why people coast. Heck, I've been in positions where I've done it too. But my question is does it get what you want? Does the end result, I mean, the fact that you're just coasting, it's not getting you the raise, it's not getting you promoted, it's not getting you more money. So why do it? Why not just quit? Literally quit rather than quiet quit. I mean, you're not happy, and clearly, if you're quiet quitting, I mean, you're not happy. You don't feel appreciated, and all those things. So my question is why not just quit? Why not find another job? And maybe the response is because there isn't another job out there, but there's other options. There's ways. I mean, I've had people commenting on my video last week, and it's like they're just throwing a lot of shade, and it's like, okay, have you ever started your own business? I mean, that's an option. That is absolutely an option. And in this day and age, with so many things available online, excuse me, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do something on your own? I mean, the best thing I ever did, I got laid off from 3 different jobs. So I get the whole quiet quitting thing. I get the whole companies don't care about you. I get the whole that you're just a number. I understand that. But why? Why stick it out? Why, frustrate yourself and coast or whatever the case may be? And so my deal is if you're happy with your job and you want to move up and you want to get promoted, you've got to do the extra. You got to go over and above. You can't just work your wage, as you so to speak, because that's just not how the system works. And okay, people will tell me. I mean, I got all kinds of posts, comments saying, that's the way it used to be. Well, maybe, but it's still that way. I have a daughter that's working for a national company, international really. I got a grandson that works for a company that makes electric things, if you know what I mean. And both of them are in the same scenario and in the age groups that were throwing shade at me. And I think it's interesting that they're moving up. And how are they moving up? They're doing a little bit extra. And what's crazy is they're watching people. Both of them have only been to the company with their companies for a year and have advanced past people that have been there years because those other people are coasting. Those other people are quiet quitting and won't do anything extra, won't step up. And what's happening is their bosses are like me, right? You get the people are throwing shade, but their bosses are of my mentality or whatever you want to say about me, and they recognize them being working the extra mile. And what's happening? They're getting promoted. They're getting raises already within a year. They've not even been with the companies for a year. Well, one of them has. My daughter's been with the company over a year, but my grandson hasn't been. He just started. He just barely been there a year and already moved up, already gotten a promotion from what he was started at. And what's really cool is we talk about people losing hours, not getting enough pay. And she's the one that they keep because they know she's learned from a year being at the company. She learned everything there is in the process because she's gone the extra mile. She understands that you need to do a little extra. Now, what? She's being groomed to be the next supervisor. Well, already within a year, past people up that have been there for 10 years because they've been coasting for 10 years. And so my question is does quiet quitting really get you what you want? I'm going to say no, unless that's what you want is to stay at the bottom. If that's what you want and that's what's cool with you. But my guess is it's not, because you wouldn't be posting, people wouldn't be posting that they're quiet quitting or frustrated or whatever the case is. And so I get, and man, I can't fix crappy bosses. I can't fix a company that you're with that sucks. But the realization is you have options. You can quit. You don't have to quiet quit. You can actually quit the job and go work somewhere else where you're appreciated. And I would encourage you, if you're on here and you're frustrated with your company and you're going to go work for another company, the interview process isn't just about you. I mean, just about them drilling down on you. I absolutely open up the option for you to start interviewing them. Right? You know what you don't want, and that's what I was posting too. Most people know now that if they've quiet quit, if they're coasting or they're just unhappy with their work, they know what they don't want. They know the boss they're not looking for, and the things that that are top triggers for you. And so, hey, sure, man, let's do it. Jump on. And so, I would encourage you, if that's the case. Hey, man.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, and where are you from?
I'm from Texas, man. Where are you from?
Oh, Texas. That's cool. I'm from Russia, from Moscow.
Wow. Very cool. Welcome from Russia, man. So I got somebody on Russia. I'm on multiple social medias, man, right now. I'm just talking about quiet quitting in the U.S. People are quitting and just frustrated.
I know. So you are talking about politics?
No, I'm talking about jobs.
About jobs? And what is your occupation?
Currently, I own my own business.
Oh, that's cool. And what in what area do you have a business?
The medical field.
Because I'm a bank data analyst, so I can give you some money if you want. Maybe Bitcoin. I can invest.
Oh. No, not interested, man.
No?
That's not my goal today. My goal is to talk about people that are quiet quitting.
I'm quiet quitting because I don't know English very well. Can you explain me a little bit this topic? Because I don't understand the theme.
So I got somebody online here on my social media that have joined in, and so I just filling people in. So the whole idea is quiet quitting is people that get frustrated with their work, right? They're not happy with their job, and so and their boss, maybe their boss just doesn't appreciate them. Maybe they're not getting paid what they thought they'd get paid, which is pretty common, right? I mean, most people don't get paid what they're worth, what they feel they're worth. That's pretty common. That's pretty much reason I started my own business. And so they call it quiet quitting because you've probably worked at a job that you were frustrated with, and so you do the bare minimum, right? Because you don't feel like you're being appreciated, and so that's why they call it quiet quitting. Yeah.
But you have to survive. So you have to work.
I agree. That's my whole conversation. My conversation's been, that you, if you want to get paid, if you want to move up, you gotta.
Yeah. You have to endure it.
Yes.
You have to face your boss and do your job.
Agreed.
That's life. We don't want it, but we have to do it.
Yep, for sure, man. For sure.
That's evident.
Yeah.
And what's the discussion point? If you are talking about discussion? I think everyone agree with you.
No. Most people don't agree with me. Yeah, it's funny. Most people don't, man. I'm going to drop off here, though.
Because I 100% agree.
So anyway, so I was on live TikTok, sorry, and someone joined in and didn't really understand the conversation. So again, I want to go back to this conversation about quiet quitting, explaining it to him a little bit because he was from Russia. But I really believe, getting back on track. So I really believe that most people want to work. Most people want to do a good job. I would hope. I mean, yeah, I get it. I've worked for companies and had employees even that's their whole goal is to skate and just do the bare minimum. And I understand that. And I really believe that even them deep down just weren't motivated, and they took a job that they just needed the money. And I get that there's a time and place that you have to do that. But in the same sense, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to spend years there. Man, I had a comment on one of my posts about this quiet quitting. He said, "Man, I worked for a company for 24 years, worked my butt off, and barely got what I got paid. Got paid barely, and I wasn't appreciated." And it's like, man, why would you stay at a company for 24 years that you weren't appreciated at? I worked for a company for 10 or 11 years, and I worked my way up. I did everything I was talking about, and that's still happening. I talked about it earlier about my daughter and grandson, and they're like, "Man, you're out of touch." So many of my comments got I was out of touch, but the reality is it's still in effect. And the mindset of bosses, whether you like it or not, is still, it's still, you need to go the extra mile if you want to move up. And people can tell, you can tell me all you want that I'm out of touch or whatever the case is, but I'm not. That is what's happening. That's the reason that people aren't moving up. And there are companies, I get it. There are companies out there. There are people, there are bosses that are just never going to appreciate their people. And they're just poor bosses. They've not been trained. They're not understanding how to motivate and encourage and appreciate people. And that's unfortunate that they had a boss that was too weak in themselves to help train them to be a better boss, because you don't have to be. But here's the other side of the coin is if you're not happy and you're going to go move to another company, again, you can interview the boss. You can find out what you want and don't want out of that boss. But then in the same sense, you can ask them, how are they going to support you? What are you going to do to support me? What do you do to motivate your employees? What do you do to encourage your employees to do more? And, and how am I rewarded for that? And these are things that you can ask on an interview, because, what that tells an interviewee is that you're motivated, that you want to do something, and that you're just looking for what heck, they understand it's what's in it for you. So if you ask those kind of questions, then boom, you'll probably get the job. And heck, if they answer them the right way that you want, man, take the job. If they don't, walk out. Leave the interview and say, "No, thank you. I'm going to keep looking." That's the beauty of the choices. And right now it's an employee market, but as they start laying people off and more people get out there in the job market, man, it's going to be competitive. And so you're going to have an edge. And I believe that just sitting in an interview and answering questions with yes and no's and such is not going to get you the job anymore, because you're going to have people that are competing against you. So ask the questions, find out what they're looking for, and find out what kind of boss they're going to be. And that way, I mean, heck, it's a win-win for both of you. You don't have to go to a job that you're going to quiet quit, coast, or whatever the case is, because you're frustrated. Now, I get that we're all on our best behavior. It's almost, an interview is almost like a first date, if you will. Now I've been married 20 years, but I still date my wife. But still, the fact is, the interview is like a first date. You're both on your best behavior, and you're both trying to accomplish a goal. And the goal is, one, you get the job, two, them find the right employee. So they understand, both sides understand that, you're going to be on your best behavior. But there's no reason why you can't, one, answer all the questions honestly, because if you don't, they're going to figure it out. But two, there's no reason why they wouldn't answer the questions. And most of the time, you may not at the first interview get to be in front of. It depends on the position, right? It depends. If you're a frontline, fast food worker or something like that, then yeah, you're probably interviewing the person that you're going to be working for, which is great because then you can ask those questions. But maybe on the first interview, you're not. You're going to be interviewing beyond HR that has questions that they need to answer and get those answers, and based on that, they're going to move you up. But you can still ask those questions. One, ask, are you are you the hiring manager, but are you also going to be my direct supervisor? And then, the cool thing is if they're an HR manager, most of the time, unless it's this massive company and you're doing a phone interview through an agency, they're going to know the manager that you're going to work for. And you can ask these questions. You can ask, what kind of person are they? What kind of boss are they? What are they looking for? What do you know about how they're motivating their staff? What are they doing to motivate their staff and encourage their staff? And man, I just want to help people get in a position that you're passionate about, that you can be excited about waking up every morning and have an opportunity to grow. And I don't believe that there's companies out there that don't. Is there a limited number of people? Yeah. You hear about those pyramids, but the job is a pyramid. If you understand, there's only one person at the top, and there's only a few people below him, and it gets a few more. But it literally gets smaller as it gets to the top, as far as opportunities are concerned. And so, what are you going to do to differentiate yourself to get to that top positions? You're not. I mean, do you never? No, I can't say you'll never be at the top, but the fact of the matter is they get limited. And how do they decide who gets up there? Yeah, I know. It depends on the company. I get that too. I saw a lot of those comments, and I've worked for those too. And I've worked with companies that, it's who you know and all this kind of stuff. And man, maybe that's not a company you want to be a part of either. Maybe that's why you want to quiet quit and move on. But then that's an option, right? You certainly can step away and do that. But there are companies that appreciate good workers, and there's opportunities. I've actually been in a position, literally, where they opened up a position to help me. Heck, my daughter's been there, where they've opened up positions for her because they knew and recognized her aptitude and her ability to learn everything and do that. And I'm proud of her, man. She has done that, and it's really awesome. And so that hasn't changed, and it's not going to change. That's the culture of business. Is you're gonna you're gonna have to step up and do something, and it is a lagging effect, right? Most people are like, well, I want to get paid before I do the job. I'm going to get paid, and that's not anything in life. Your mindset is, how do I say this? If you want to do something, if you want to be something or do something or be someone, you've got to have that mindset and act as if, right? It's be, do, have. I've said this many times, be, do, have. And so you have to be that person, do what they're doing, and you'll have what you got. That's just the way life is, whether it's, personal or professional or in your business. And you can tell me I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, this is the case. This has to do with not only work, but it also has to do with, with your life. I mean, and so if you want to be a manager, if you want to be a supervisor, whatever that next step is, start being that person and doing what that person would do. Be that kind of person, and you'll have what that person has. Is it a lagging effect? It absolutely is, right? Because it may not be seen at first. It's taken my daughter almost a year now for them to recognize, but over the time, they keep giving her a little more responsibility. More pay? Yes, it happens if you're working for the right company. Yes. And so, my grandson the same way. He's getting more responsibilities. And what's great is they both had these work ethics at multiple different companies, and one of them was, both of them worked for this one company that's one of the largest in Texas, and because I'm from Texas, and so they worked there, and they both worked their way up from a financial perspective, continually getting raises when they were offered, and sometimes when they didn't even realize they were getting one, they were like, hey, you're doing a great job. And so there are still companies out there. People, I got so much shade this past week on these posts, but there are companies still out there that appreciate their employees. There are, and I encourage you to find them and go work for them. And if not, man, go start your own business. The best decision I ever made in my life was the day I decided to be my boss was the one in the mirror. And man, that's it brings on a whole different set of challenges, but I can't blame anyone. If I quit or coast, it's on me. And here's the thing: I knew I was working hard, and I knew I wasn't getting paid what I was worth. I get that, and I get that's why people quiet quit. And so after I got laid off, I realized, and man, I got laid off for multiple different reasons over the years, but that's a whole nother subject. But but I realized that I just wanted to start my own business. I wanted to be in business myself, and it's probably been the single best decision besides my wife saying yes. And me marrying her has been the single best decision I made, is starting my own business, and now multiple, and I love the fact that we have multiple streams of income. So that's another deal. But anyway, I want to go back to this quiet quitting. I believe that your best chance to move up is to do the extra mile. And if you're not in a company where you feel appreciated and have that encouragement to do that and recognize that it's happening, then move to a different company. And what's interesting is when you start separating yourself and start doing more, please don't let the others' attacks take you down and bring you back. Don't listen to the noise, because it's just noise, right? It's just noise. My daughter gets the shade, gets stuff thrown at her all the time as far as, well, why are you doing more? Because I want to move up. And what's crazy is as she's moving up with this company, more and more people are throwing shade at her, giving her a hard time because, they're like, you're making us look bad. No, you're making yourself look bad. And I love the fact that she's strong enough to recognize that and keep moving and doing. And the fact that she's moving up is frustrating the heck out of the people that have just been doing nothing for 10 years and just doing the bare minimum, just coasting and doing just what they have to do. And then they're frustrated that they're only getting what I had to post people saying that, they got like 2% raise. Yeah. Yeah, and I think more and more companies are recognizing, especially now that it's an employee market, meaning there's more employees out there, there's more people looking for people, companies looking for people than there are staff. So right now it's a good market for people to get, but that's going to flip pretty quick as these layoffs happen. But anyway, I get it. So companies are recognizing that they need to reward their employees based on their performance. I mean, it's going back to that. And so I've seen that. And this is a huge company that she's working for and has done this. And so, people are, I know there's lagging companies that are the fair and friendly company that's going to give everybody the same raise. Yeah. And I don't know if I would work for a company like that either. I would probably quit that company too if everybody's getting paid the same. I mean, to me, that's not right. I would understand why you quit, but just quit. Again, I just believe that. So, hey, hope you got some coffee going. So, I've been on here for a little bit. I just was wanting to get on here live. If you're watching live, man, comment live. If you're watching on the replay, comment replay. And I'd love to hear you if you catch this on the replay. Your thoughts. Sorry about the interruption there with the other stream. I finally stopped that because, anyway, there's banter there that I wasn't interested in. And so I would encourage you to just comment and let me know what your thoughts are. Man, I really just appreciate all my supporters and everybody that comments and everybody that reaches out to me in messaging. And man, I'm just blessed by just surrounding myself and being surrounded by some really encouraging people. And I just pray that you have a wonderful weekend. It's Saturday here where I'm at, Saturday morning, and had my cup of coffee. And I just wanted to chat with you about going and quiet quitting. So again, I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I hope that this has been helpful for you. And I will say God bless and have a wonderful weekend.